to get 15 minutes of racing underway. This is round 1 of the Toyota MR2 Championship, and the lights go out now for rear-wheel drive action, and a great start from Aldworth in his first race in this roadster. He squeezes between the front row men in car 2 to lead on the way up towards paddock. Lockwood has got second. The rest of the field chase behind. The trainer on the outside of the poleman Stratton, who may lose another spot here as they head up the hill. But Darren Aldworth, I'm not sure, has won a race before. He leads over Lockwood, and then it's 2x2 and even more cars side by side behind.
Yeah, it's the yellow car for Stratton, who was pole position man in third, but he might lose that place at Graham Hill Bend to Sean Trainer, the perennial number 27. And Trainer has to back off, hops over the curb. And he now has another go coming up towards Surtees. He's got the territory on the inside. Does he have the momentum to get through there side by side? And Trainer rides up over the curb. But Stratton still holds on the inside. There's not a lot of grip out there. Trainer slides a little bit wide. He's fighting the car. And behind him is with the three Mark IIs giving chase, and a fourth in there as well. But it's Ben Rowe, isn't it, in the black car, who leads that Mark II group.
And side by side for the lead, last year's champion Adam Lockwood to the outside of Darren Aldworth, who brakes later but brakes too late, and he's out wide at paddock, so Lockwood switches back to the inside. Aldworth, despite that line, he's able to carry speed out of the bend. He's still alongside Lockwood, but on the wrong line for the hairpin. So Adam Lockwood reclaims the lead with Darren Aldworth in second. And Sean Trainer, just like he was a lap ago, he's fighting with Neil Stratton. They were both sideways out of the hairpin.
Yeah, he's got it this time. He's managed to squeeze onto the apex, and out over the curbs goes Neil Stratton in the yellow car. Ben Rose in behind him. Behind him is Andrew Ruthven, and then it's Harper behind them.
Into the top 10, I notice, is Sergei Vilev, the Ukrainian, who went well in qualifying. Was right. Oh, and Aldworth made a mistake, and he's been clobbered by Sean Trainer. Well, I think really, Aldworth, Darren Aldworth lost it at Clearways, and as the car spat sideways, he clobbered into the side of Sean Trainer. That's why there's damage at the front. So Lockwood leads by 1.7 seconds to what must be a dented Trainer car in second. Stratton is third. Rowe is fourth, the first of the Mark IIs. And Andrew Ruthven going well up in fifth spot for the driver from the West Midlands. Jim Mew is sixth. Sam Harper is seventh. But surely that car, after going so well, leading the early stages, Darren Aldworth is off in the gravel with damage too. Just a small mistake, and it bit him, spat him back out into another car, and that contact was made. And that's going to cause the safety car to come out, I'm afraid. There's the damage to the front right of the car then of Darren Aldworth. And that means their recovery will be needed up at Clearways. We have a replay down. So everyone will have to make their way behind the safety car, which will catch them in a few moments down the Cooper Straight, where the safety car will be released. There's the marshal already with Darren Aldworth's car. All the other starters still there, 28 cars running. 1 minute 3.948 was Adam Lockwood's first flying lap of the race, quicker than everybody else. Let's have a look then what happened to Darren Aldworth a few moments ago. The second car in shot through Clearways, Marcus.
Yes, he slides a bit wide, doesn't he? Does he touch the curb? I guess he does with that back wheel, and that just puts him across into the side of Sean Trainer. Goes back the other way, and he's a long way off into the gravel. And it takes no prisoners. Once you're in that deep, you're stuck. And there's the Renault safety car waiting at the back of the pits. That'll pick them all up.
And that's what's happening now then, with 10.5 minutes on the clock. With number 11, Adam Lockwood, the first car in line. Last year's champion. He was the Class A champion back in 2018, switched from a Mark 1 to a Mark 3 a few years ago, and then won that championship last year with just that one victory, but was on the podium so often during the course of the season, taking 6 second places, 5 third places, 12 podiums over the course of the season. And that was enough for him to beat Sean Traynor, who won 9 rounds last year by just 2 points in that last race, where I think Traynor stalled at the start, fought his way back, and almost caught Lockwood, I believe, on the last lap.
Yeah, Traynor was kind of playing catch-up after a drama here, wasn't he, earlier in the year? But that was interesting because, yeah, Lockwood pulled off that sort of ultimate game of consistency, the sort of Denny Holm 67, Keke Rosberg 82 kind of world championship thing, win a race and you're there or thereabouts all the rest of the time, and a really good effort.
Sure, when Adam watches this back here, he'll enjoy the comparisons you've made with 2 great world champions. But as we mentioned, Sean Traynor won 4 titles, 2015, 17, 18 and 19. But he's never won a title overall in this Roadster that he's raced since 2020. He won the C Championship in that car in 2020, but hasn't won the overall title since driving this car, which is a surprise, I think, looking back at that. But perhaps this year could be the season that happens. It's had new competition over the last few years, new people coming into the championship. As that broke the steering on the Lockwood, the Aldworth car.
The tracking does look as though it's out, doesn't it? Well, that's from the contact with Traynor's car, isn't it? Yes, the front wheels are not pointing quite in the same direction, but it looks like it's probably something that can be sorted out for the later race.
I suspect Rogue Motorsport have got plenty of people on hand, regardless if you're with them or not. I'm sure they're people.
If it's fixable, yeah. The Rogue boys could do it. That's for sure.
Rogue Motorsport have run so many MR2s over the years. A few television appearances on the way as well.
Probably put one together blindfold.
Safety car in. We've got 8 minutes of the race to go. It's a good restart from Adam Lockwood. And again, a bit like the Clios in places, it's fairly spread on the restart. Traynor's the one who's under threat. Neil Stratton up the outside, the man who got pole this morning, trying to come around the multiple champion. We've got that big tyre mark on the door there where Darren Aldworth collected him earlier. Whether that'll affect Traynor at all, we'll see. Stratton still on the outside, coming into Druids. He brakes later, but it's a very long way round there at Druids.
It looks like it's dancing a little bit under braking. It doesn't look as though it's got quite the traction it had before, but you see he's in there. He's probably feeling what the steering's giving him in the way of feedback, and I should think there is damage to the tracking on that car.
There's Stratton, who's still trying to find a way through, the 40-year-old IT technician in third spot in his 2000 Toyota MR2 Roadster, which he built with Ian Woolham a few years ago, and he's trying to draw up alongside Traynor there. Couldn't quite do it. Stratton, who's been racing since 2009, just sets the aimshop.com fastest lap, a 102.1, which is 4 seconds faster than qualifying this morning. Shows you how much dry it is now, but there's still time to come. The lap record in the Toyota MR2 Championship of 56, with actually a Mark II. Jim Davis has got the record. Traynor out wide here at the hairpin at Druid. Yeah, both sideways as they accelerate down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. Traynor on the inside, able to hang on, but he hasn't got the pace, it would seem, Marcus, of Neil Stratton. No,
and Stratton with that best lap. But it was only a couple of tenths, wasn't it, last time round? But it looks like Traynor's having to work a little harder for it.
Into clearways they go. 6 minutes of the session remain. 9 tenths per second was the gap at the start of lap 6 between Adam Lockwood and Sean Traynor. Ben Rose best of the rest. He leads the Mark IIs in fourth spot. He's a couple of seconds behind though. Into the 1 minute ones. Adam Lockwood sets the fastest lap, a 1 minute 1.584. The aimshop.com fastest lap of the race. And he's 1.4 seconds clear of Traynor and Stratton. Through Druid they go. This is where they get pretty sideways. They have done on, again you see a twitch, can't you, from Stratton's car as I guess when they get into the high revs before they change gear from second to third.
Yeah, he's trying to jump on the power as early as possible to just give him maximum opportunity to unseat Sean Traynor.
Just saw a glimpse of Ben Rowe, who leads Class B in 31. Long-time MR2 championship racer, Ben Rowe.
Who's leading the international competition.
Looks like in ninth overall is the Ukrainian Sergei Bylev, 36-year-old, former time attack and hill climber and Lada Cup racer in Ukraine. Not so many racers from the 750 Motor Club have come from that before.
Stratton up the inside now, and he engineered a gap coming out of paddock.
Traynor tries to come back up the inside. Stratton there was a bit over the curb. They're absolutely will to wheel again, but Traynor on the outside is going to have to work hard if he's going to get this position back again, and he's the one that runs out wide over the curb with the outside line. So Neil Stratton in second. Now we'll try and chase Adam Lockwood with probably 4 laps to go at the end of this one, which is lap 9. Traynor though fighting back here. Well, they've got the Mark 1 to lap, Martin Collins, the only driver out in the late 80s original MR2.
Yeah, the Golf Team MR2.
1.7 seconds, the lead gap. That is what Neil Stratton has got to try and work with. But for now, he's got Sean Traynor all over the back of him. He's up the curb through Paddock Hill Bend. Now they climb the hill towards Druids. He darts to the inside, Traynor. Looking racy all of a sudden. Now he's lost a place, Marcus.
Yeah, there was only 3/4 of a gap there. That was the problem, and he couldn't really afford to stick himself up the curb because that was going to be detrimental to his approach to the hairpin. He's coming back there. They're not that far behind Lockwood. He's just controlling the pace, you sense.
Now, Lockwood, who got that victory at Oulton Park at the end of last season. I'm not sure if he'd actually won a race before then in this championship. Stratton is mighty through Clearway. Look at the gap he's put between himself and Traynor just through that corner.
Stratton's wipers are going again, so I wonder whether that's indicative there is a few drops of rain again.
But that was all in Clearways. He's halved the gap to the leader and gone under a minute for the first time. Neil Stratton, 59.830. Quite remarkable to do that all on one corner. The rest of the lap, Sean Traynor was all over the back of him, as he is again now at the start of lap 11. But the top 3 all of a sudden the closest they have been since the safety car came in.
Another little twitch from the back of Stratton's car, the VTR car, over the exit curb of Druids.
So different having a rear-wheel drive race compared to the front-wheel drive race we've had up to now, predominantly. Seeing the Toyotas sliding out of Druids as they get the power on. No traction control in these cars, of course. Again, out of Clearways, Neil Stratton's just found a place which Sean Traynor can't, where the grip is, to accelerate up across the Babban Straight. But Adam Lockwood looks better in front this time. So the 9/10 gap remains between the top 2. These 3 are a long way ahead of the rest. Ben Rowe 8 seconds back in 4th. There's a lot more traffic to deal with before this race is over too.
That's right, and Ben Rowe's got Jim Mew now between him and Andrew Ruthven, his class rival, hasn't he?
Yeah, Ruthven's got Tim Heron. I think they were probably side by side as they went up towards paddock for second in the class. So here's a load of traffic. At the front of it, car 8, which is Eddie O'Kane, former Hyundai racer, I believe. Simon Quinn in there too, and Patrick Stoner. Patrick, who's having...
This is getting busy now with the second and third place cars. They'll soon be in the tow of the leader as it goes on to the last lap. There's Adam Lockwood, our race leader. Stratton, who snatched pole right at the end of qualifying, can do the same and take that victory from Adam Lockwood, the defending champion.
Lookwood led since the beginning, despite not starting on pole with that better start. But as you say, this is the closest it's been all race long. Less than 4/10 of a second. And indeed, there are spots of rain on our window again.
It's interesting that Lockwood's one of those drivers who doesn't want to run number one.
That's right, yes.
Perhaps they think that makes him a target.
He's got 2 1s instead.
Yes.
That was the number that Adam Lockwood used previously. So we're going to see a last lap challenge. We know how good Stratton is at clearways, particularly out of the corner. Yesterday we had a photo finish. Are we going to have another one? Adam Lockwood's pretty good here. Out of Clark Curve, it looks like he's got a car length advantage. So Adam Lockwood is going to win the opening round of the Toyota MR2 Championship, but by a pretty small margin, 0.34 of a second, despite Neil Stratton setting the aim shot fastest lap on the last lap at 59.459. Sean Traynor comes home third. For fourth, it's side by side because Ben Rowe was caught by Jim Mew, but they didn't change positions. Rowe stays fourth. Tim Herron's up to sixth. A good end to the race for another long-time MR2 racer. Andrew Rufflin is 7th. Danny Bryant is 8th. From Kiev, Sergei Bylev is 9th. Peter Higton, he comes through in 10th spot. And just dropping away a little bit at the end is the Cyprian, Vlad Sanani, who was on pole position at one point in the session, where we had a driver from Cyprus ahead of a driver from Ukraine. Possibly the first time that's happened at Brands Hatch in its...
I think we can be fairly safe to say that, Josh.
Which was a cool little moment we had. I think everyone's going to bring it home, apart from Darren Aldworth, who was the reason for our safety car period. There goes Maxine Nichols, back for another season. She came home in 20th place. But let's have a look at the full results then for our final race before lunch. Car number 11, the winner, Adam Lockwood, by 0.34 of a second over Neil Stratton. Sean Traynor in third. They were 11 seconds ahead of Ben Rowe in the end. Jim Mew was fifth, Tim Herron in sixth, Andrew Rufflin, Danny Bryant, Sergei Bylev, Peter Higton in the top 10, then Sam Harper, Neil Hurren, Thea Aldridge, Vlad Sanani completes page 1 of our result sheets. Jeff Howarth ahead of Andrew Baranowski, Anthony Jones, Jonathan Grimes, Andrew Strange and Maxine Nichols. Then Aaron Laverty and Chris Allison were on the lead lap. A lap down, Simon Quinn, Eddie O'Kane, Patrick Stoner, Nick Lear, Andy Williams 2, as well as our solo Mark 1 Toyota MR2, Martin Collins and Darren Aldworth, who had the incident at Clearways, was a non-finisher. So we finish for lunch 5 minutes or so earlier than the timetable suggested at 1 o'clock. So around an hour away from the afternoon's action here at Brands Hatch. We'll be headed by the F1000 Championship on a track that may well dry over the course of the next hour. During the course of lunch here on the 750 Motor Club TV coverage, when we're hearing from some of the drivers in the paddock. Before we get there though, let's hear from the race winners in the Toyota MR2 Championship with Kieran.
Another fantastic race, more changing conditions as well, and Adam Lockwood has rounded out that win with, well, his first win, sorry, of the season. Adam, fantastic race. You had some under pressure at the end there.
Yeah, I know. They were catching up fast, weren't they? You know, one more lap, and I think it might have been a different story. But no, it's good race. Yeah, nice and clean throughout. No drama for me at least.
And how did you find the changing conditions?
Yeah, it was starting to get a little bit more tricky towards the end. The grip was definitely going, but yeah, it was last lap by then, so just sort of hang on for dear life.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Second place is Neil Stratton. Neil, that was you had to fight for that one.
Yeah, I got the worst start in MR2 history. I know, cheers. And then obviously when Darren had his incident with Sean, just a case of getting past Sean after the safety car. Tried it around the outside of paddock. That nearly worked. And then Sean made a mistake. I think it was endurance, and I just got past him then, but he was all over me after that. But no, good race.
And definitely, and obviously you had the pace towards the end then. You were catching in on Adam as well. Do you reckon you could take the fight to him for the last race?
May have been able to have got close, but Adam's not a slouch, so I'd have given it a go, but I think Adam probably had that one.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your second place.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you. Third place is Sean. Now, we spoke earlier, and you started, well, not in the top 3.
Yes, yeah. To be fair, I come through and they said, are you starting from 4th? And I was like, well, I thought they'd put me back. And he said, no, we've got you on the grid, you've got to start from 4th. So I thought I'd go start from 4th. I was sort of doing all right, and I think Darren was, who come off on the gravel here, he was driving really well, and he made a bit of a mistake coming through clearways. So I sort of got up the inside a little bit of him, and he just got too much. And next thing I just hear, and I saw him in the gravel, so I presume he caught a bit of grip and it chucked him into me. But it threw my steering out a bit, which sort of, I was all right for left-handers. The right-handers weren't so good. So, but yeah, it could have gone worse. So just hopefully there's a half decent lap time in there that puts me around about the same sort of time for the next one.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got a race coming up later today. Do you reckon you can take the fight for the win?
I'll definitely give it a go. If we get the alignment sorted and sort that hole out in the wing, we should be all right.
Well, congratulations then on your 3rd place.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
Thank you very much. And that sums up for the morning of racing. Got the lunch break coming up now. More racing coming on later today. Now we've got the paddock walk coming up in the lunch break, which I'll be totally honest, we filmed early this morning, so it's not going to be live. So we'll see you in just a couple of minutes.